Ooh, thunder. You hear that? There's a storm moving in right now, but we wanted to give you guys a tour of the area where the oaks were because they were just removed. It looks very different, but it's almost freeing in a way to see them gone because it gives me a fresh perspective of this area. So we can start right here where Hebe is with the weeping willow. And if you kind of pan to the left, oh my goodness. I thought that I was going to feel a little bit shocked and sick for a couple of days after those were removed. But the day, like as they were doing it, I kind of felt this weight being lifted. It was the weirdest thing. And I don't think that we realize like maybe how bad something has gotten until it's gone. And then we're kind of like, oh, I can just see this. I can see now some future in this area. So I kind of just wanted to show it to you. Benjamin's with us this morning and the grass is wet. But I just wanted to kind of just go over the area and kind of talk through some of our thoughts. We haven't really decided exactly what we're going to do. And I think that was kind of a smart thing because it's such a massive change. We didn't really want to have any definite plans until they were gone so we could really see what it looked like. So as you guys know, there were 8 oak trees in this area. They started right here and then just kind of lined this flower bed in the driveway here. And 3 of them had something viral going on. They were starting to twist and turn downward, and it was starting to spread to the other ones that did look okay. So it was a hedge, but they were all different shapes and sizes. And there was one thing about them I didn't like, and some of the older varieties of oaks, I guess not just older varieties, but some varieties of oaks hold on to their leaves throughout the winter. And these did that. So in the fall, they didn't even turn a pretty color. They went from green to brown. They held onto their leaves. And then every time we had any slight breeze, they would leave a mess of leaves all over the grass, all over the snow. Didn't matter what time of year it was. It always felt like fall over here because I was always cleaning up leaves, which, as you guys know, I like things to be a little bit tidy out here. So it was a little bit of a contentious thing for me. So to not have that, because we just had a storm roll through last night. And so I was kind of inside going like, I'm not gonna have a big mess tomorrow. I kind of love it. But if you look this way, kind of get the view from this side, you can see our house in the background and kind of our expansive grass here. One of the things, oh, you found an acorn. Good job, baby. Thank you. Can you find any more? One of the things I love is when we look from the house, now I can see the fountain that's right in front of me. We can hear it a little bit better because we don't have that sound barrier. I had initially thought that we were going to come in and just replant a different variety of tree that grew much the same. But now I'm kind of like thinking through some other things. We may widen this flower bed because this driveway right here, like this is enormous. We do not need it to be this wide. So we were thinking maybe coming out to just maybe about here and keeping it decent size, but we may build this up right here with stacked rock, like gray stacked rock, and bring in some soil and maybe contour the land up a little bit right here. So we've got a little bit of dimension and maybe create kind of a sunken garden feel toward the interior here. So that's one thought. We've also thought about going ahead and putting in like Armstrong gold maples or Corinthian lindens that grow tall and skinny like the oaks were. But then we thought, well, maybe we could just do some trees that have actual canopies. I'm flinging the acorns around, and only doing maybe 3 of them so that we can still see underneath them. We can still see the fountain and keep this area a little bit lighter. So you can see the back side of the flower bed is not looking great because you didn't see this. The oaks came to about here. So this was the back. The guys who came and did this job did a phenomenal job. I mean, there was a couple of branches of things that kind of popped off, but if I would have done that, I would have made a mess of everything. And they did such a beautiful job cleaning this up because they moved all the gravel back. They ground out the stumps and then they pushed the gravel back in place. So they just did a fantastic job. So this whole area may take on a completely different feel. We may not have an opening here anymore. We may decide to do the rock wall all the way to the end here. That's one option, and create maybe a circular patio area in here, in which case we'll have a huge like plant party and invite all of our friends and family to come dig out whatever they want so that we can have a blank space. Here, baby. Anyway, it's just a really fun thing. I'm really excited about it. Usually when we remove something, it's because there's an issue with it, and there was the aesthetic part that created a mess that I didn't like. Bless you. But there's also the viral thing that was going on. And as you know, this big elm tree here, which we can now see the gorgeous shape of it, is losing branches. So that will probably be the next thing to go because it's super dangerous. When we take things out, we always plant a bunch of stuff in the place of it. And it makes us happier with our space. And that is what it's all about. Even if something isn't diseased, it is a plant. Like, don't feel bad about taking it out if you do not love it, because you need to love your space. You need to love your garden. That's what keeps us like inspired and motivated to work out at it. And you know, when you go outside and see stuff you don't like, that's not fun. So that's pretty much this space. I do love too, you can see the form of the weeping willow right there, which is one of my favorite trees on our entire property. But I thought we could just walk through here. The oak went all the way in almost to the bird bath there, so we've got like some huge gaping holes. But this is something that whether or not we keep a path that goes out right here, we will be changing, because I like to have things be a continuous idea. And it does look like at some point there were 2 brick paths made. So there's one right here that leads out into the grass, which I do love that view. And then there's one to the gazebo, but then it looks like maybe this one was added later. And while each of them are beautiful in their own right, I don't really love that they're together in this area. I'd kind of like to replace them all with the same brick we used on the west side and maybe create a tiny bit of a different design in here. But we've got some beautiful stuff. There's some Mary Rose, David Austin's. There's some pots in here, Caryopteris. I like this little boxwood sphere right here. We can look at Benjamin's teepee, which has gone completely nuts. So had I been a more diligent person, I could have trained a lot of this lemon appeal thunbergia up onto the trellis rather than on the ground. Either way, it looks really pretty back here. And we occasionally come and like clip out a center section right there so Benjamin can go in. But honestly, this year, and I knew this year he wouldn't care too much about this. It'll probably be when he's a little bit older and kind of wants a little secret space that he'll like this a little bit more. But it's been a really fun project over here and something a little bit whimsical. We've got some beautiful layering right here with Elamium. There's white gomphrena, Wicked Hot Coleus, which is new next year, a Marie's Double File Viburnum, a Bloodgood or Emperor one, Japanese maple. Then we've got an Autumn Moon maple right here. This will have gorgeous color this fall. And then this area is, again, I decided to do the kids' garden back here just because it was close to the gazebo where we do hang out. And we'll probably keep it that way, but I really haven't done a ton to this space, but I do have pumpkins. Benjamin, do you want a pumpkin? These are little baby, oh, here's the croquet ball we couldn't find. Look, I find toys all over now. These are little baby boo pumpkins. I don't know if I'll be able to get it. Yeah, there we go. Look at how cute those are. I thought these are perfect for a little kid's garden, and this thing is loaded. Like, there are a ton. I've already picked some of them. I've got them up in the gazebo. And Russell's climbing in the gazebo right now. Russell, hey kitty kitty. I had wanted to do round stepping stones in this area up to the teepee. Cannot find round stepping stones in our area to save my life. So that'll be something I'll have to go maybe to Boise and do a little shopping over there. I just need like 10 stepping stones, 10 round ones, or I might have to just make them myself. What's the matter? Is it all wet? Is it wet? Let me take it. Do you want this? That's probably even more wet though. Do you hear the thunder? Oh, do you hear it? And we've got gorgeous stuff here. We did have rain last night. So this poor Caryopteris, this is a Beyond Midnight. Gorgeous, the pollinators love it. It did get a little battered down. It's because it's still kind of wet. So it will pick back up once it dries out. But let's just head over to the corner garden real quick and we'll just take a quick look at that. Do you want any of these things? Okay, I'll carry that. Come on, baby. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Exactly. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So this space right here, now that it has cooled off, in fact, yesterday it was 100 degrees. Right now it's 67 out here. No, it's in the 70s at this point. I wore a little, is it 67? It feels warmer than that. Benjamin doesn't feel cold. I was out here really early, so I have a vest on still. I'm gonna probably have to shed that later. But now that we've had this huge downshift in temperature, I can start trimming up my boxwoods without the fear of them burning. So I'm really excited about that. Where did I plant? Oh, right here. You guys remember I had a dead boxwood right here that I cut out this spring and then planted a new one. Doesn't it look so awesome? Like, it's almost filled in this area. I did the same thing on the back side. I lost 2 boxwoods back there in that really bad winter. So took those out and replaced those. The fountain's looking great. The Gara is beautiful in there. And then the sweet Autumnclematis is just starting to bloom. Look at that. Isn't that the most magical looking thing right there? Want to go in? Yeah? So one thing in here, I had a Gara just self-seed itself right here, and it's massive. That's one Gara plant. I'm waiting until I cut those back this fall. I just saw huge lightning. I'm waiting to cut that back, and then I'm going to move it to a little hole that's to the left of the fountain over there, because I would really prefer that all the Gara be behind these boxwood cones. That way I'll have my structure up front and my wild right behind it. But sometimes we have to wait on things like that. 2 other trees I did have removed at the same time the oaks were removed. Right here, we had a plum tree that was like, I don't know if it had split down the center, but it was really misshapen, and it was really kind of sick looking. So we had that removed, and I'm planting this Thundercloud Plum in its space. You can see we haven't had time to do it yet. In fact, we may just make a video when we do plant it. But I think that the purple color right here, I loved that there was a plum and it was purple color, so I just wanted to replace it kind of with the same thing, but something that will actually create a canopy. So Thunderclouds grow about 20 by 20, and we will be limbing it up so you know it's okay around the arbor there, but I just wanted that canopy and some shade over here. And then one last section, come on buddy, is right back here. We had a Pagoda Dogwood that had split down the center, and I think it happened before we moved in, because I saw a bunch of that black pruning sealer just sprayed all over the trunk, like just trying to patch the problem. So half of it was dead. I've been cutting big chunks out every year. Oh my word. You hear that, bud? Anyway, it just had reached the point where it just, I didn't think it could rebound. So we had that removed, and I'm going to come in with a great big blue spruce, probably a Bakari blue spruce, because I think that'll be a beautiful winter structure back here, beautiful color, because there's really nothing blue back here. And then you'll see layers. You'll see the purple plum and then the blue spruce back here when you're driving in. So anyway, that's pretty much it for today. I just wanted to show you the area with the oaks gone, give you a little tour of the space, and then also the other 2 trees that we had removed. A lot going on around here, a lot of fun stuff. It's fun to make your space your own, and I feel like we have done a lot of that, but I feel like we're kind of closing in on some of the bigger projects that we really wanted to do. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching this video, and we will see you in the next one. Bye. P.S. I forgot to show you guys that the little brick path that led into the yard, some friends came, they wanted the brick, so they came and picked up all the brick, took the white arbor out, so that we could start fresh, brand new. We're going to be making a much wider opening so the lawn tractor has an easy access to get to and from the yard, because before it was very hard. So anyway, forgot to show that.